Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Brother Rich. As you can see, I'm with Brother Joel. We are downstairs at Nicholas, this magnificent store that everybody in New York should come visit when they need their cultural needs. And we're going to do a great interview, an explosive interview tonight. It's going to be short, but it's going to be very explosive. Why? Joel, I've known this brother for a long time. And I remember he used to come by my stand outside with aura pictures. And this is the brother that inspired me to get my first aura picture. And he inspired me to start researching what aura exactly was, what it meant, what the colors mean, how can I improve my aura and my energy field. So what this brother helped me with, it's time for him to help the rest of the world with. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that time, Brother Joel. So
it's that time.
With that being said, brother, we're gonna get into it. There's an invisible force in everybody's lives, that influencing things that happens around them. Some people just got this energy where they, like yesterday, me and my girl, we was walking to the train. A dude had his car parked. We seen $5. We spotted it. We picked it up. He said, "Hey, that's mine." We said, "You lied, motherfucker. You was there the whole time and you ain't see it." So it's like there's a certain energy, and there's countless examples. It could be something good, bad, whatever, but some people just have this magnetic energy about them that attracts certain things. A lot of people say that that's because of their aura. I want you to talk to the people to help them to improve this invisible aspect of themselves that they may not see, but may be influencing things that happen to them in everyday in life. So start out with that, Brother Joel. Talk to them about this aura business, brother.
All right, family, how y'all doing? Real quick, as always, I'm gonna be the one to let you know. Donate to Brother Rich. Don't just get up on the comment board hating, making all type of damn comments, because they good for that. Yeah, this MC Spookism, Joel Benjamin, talking to you. So support Brother Rich. Our video, don't go on there commenting for a damn 3 hours. Obviously, it's something on there you trolling about, but you have a reason to troll, because Brother Rich present the platform for you, Underground Railroad Productions. So he have DVDs as well. I don't know if a lot of people know that he sell different DVDs of different lectures where you can catch from him. So please, if you're not just gonna donate money like that, buy a DVD, because this take time, people's personal time, not just money, but their personal time. Now, with that said, auras. Aura, you see, I'm really different from a lot of people that explain certain things, because I want to give you as much details that you could get within an hour and a half. Now, let me give it to you like this. It's really difficult talking about the aura without talking about spirits. It's different talking about the aura without talking about foods to eat. It's difficult talking about aura without talking about prayer. So, people say invisible. It's not invisible. It's just that with your naked eye, you're not able to see it. Correllian photography helps that. So, I showed in one video that I had with Brother Rich how the aura, the different auras look. I showed that to people. Now I recently took one today, and I found it very interesting. Before I show you the picture, this was a new lady there. I am not accustomed seeing her, so she trying to explain me the colors, the different stuff. Like, miss, you ain't got to do all that. I didn't even want her to read it, but she read it, and she surprised me how on point she was. And she showed me that there was a certain section where I was thinking about different job opportunities, leaving certain job, leaving the current job and jumping to the next one. I found that very interesting. And then she started saying, yeah, you're thinking more about family a lot. She showed the pink part in my aura. Now, you have the regular basic colors, and you could watch other videos to learn each color. because it's exceptions to every rules. So I'm keeping it real simple. You have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet. Yeah. You got the violet and purple. So you have the different colors, which is like 7 colors. Now, when you start hitting etheric, I'm gonna repeat, etheric chakras, and that's why I like to show the aura pictures, because you hear people talk about, oh, the ethers, my brother, the ethers, the ethers. You be like, show me the ethers. You talk about you been to the ethers. You talk all this. How could a damn chakra help me? Much more a etheric chakra. How am I able to benefit from that? What can I do to raise my chakra? You understand? Why, or figure out what is it that's draining my energy? Why is my chakra low? So I'm looking to get into all that as well. Now, let me just show you the aura picture. I don't know if they could see this, Brother Rich. I don't know if you want to zoom up on it. All right, if you notice, there's a part which is like faded. That's on my right side. That's where the energy leaves, because it's like a cycle. It comes up from the left and leaves from the right. If you notice, I got pink, a little bit of turquoise in there, and of course I got basically all the different colors. And you're seeing colors that up to this day I don't even see in crayons. That's when you start hitting etheric chakras. When you start seeing pink, bright white rays, like a ray of light. Y'all know how a ray of light look, like that line beaming. When you start seeing stuff like that, or orbs, definitely orbs, that's when you start dealing with etheric chakras. Now there's ways to enhance that. Again, how you eat, drink, exercise play a very important role too. Exercise. And one of the main important things, I used to neglect it, but one of the main important things is sleep. Sleep plays a very, very, very important role, because that's supposed to be the rejuvenation cycle when you sleep. But let me go on. All right, they got a good view of this, right, Brother Rich? Mm-hmm. They got a good view? All right. I'm going to start with Auric residue. You always hear about aura, Brother Rich. Aura, 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 aura. And they tell you everything about aura. But a lot of times you don't hear about the auric residue. Auric residue. Say I take my hand and I touch a person. They have the correlative photography that shows my auric residue, whatever my aura is on the person. Now that's deep. Some people will be like, oh, MC Spookism, come on. You coming with that stuff again. How is that deep? Well, number one, if the person have an aura and their aura is them having a bad day, so their aura is low and drained, and first of all, when they touch you, they're going to be draining you. That's number one. And if you ain't spiritually protected, or let's just stick on with the aura, your aura is not high enough, which is still dealing with spiritual protection. If it's not high enough, you'll influence that. Meaning, you ever know somebody and you go around them and they always negative. When I mean always negative, and then you start having a bad day.
But Joel, this is, and I don't mean to cut you off, but this is the confusing part with that I hear from a lot of people. Why is it I'm having a good day? Let's just use me and you as an example. I'm having a good day. I'm feeling good. I'm vibrating high. I'm feeling good, Joyce. I'm happy. I'm skipping. I'm smiling. I run into you. You having a bad day. Why is it the person having a bad day usually overpowers the person having a good day? Because you could make me feel bad, but for some reason, I'm not going to make you feel good. You go away feeling bad.
Excellent
so why
question.
is it that the bad is overpowering the good? Go ahead, brother.
I'll explain that. Number one, when you're dealing with that, a person like that, Their energy is already draining. There's a force that's draining their energy, period. Now, if that energy is draining and powerful enough, of course it's going to drain you. 9 times out of 10, that's how it is. Now, other people that's on that where their vibration is high, they're able to go into the room or go to that person and cheer the person up, make the person have a better day. But it's certain tools, and I'm going to repeat tools. Like when we did the interview with Gano, there's a reason why I asked him certain questions, especially when he said he got that spiritual tool from the archangels. Because some people will be like, oh, how the hell you talking about, oh, this spiritual, you got it from this one and this one. And they don't understand on a spiritual level and what leads you to it. That's when you're starting to vibrate high. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like I said, you can't take out just aura and not talk about the spiritual. So what some people do, they'll be vibrating high. They'll have a good day. But you'll notice they're not using stuff like Penny Royale. They're not using stuff like hyssop oil. They're not cleansing out their vehicle. They're not cleansing out their house with incense. You get where I'm coming from? They're not bathing with these certain items. So now when you come around these people and these people are dealing with items, remember, if they say every action, there's a reaction, right? You have to remember, these people are using certain tools as well. Now, it could be negative tools. Now, you'd be like, well, give me an example of a negative tool they're using, Brother Joel. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say the person is having a bad day or whatever. Their tool might be their job. Every time they go to work, they stressed out as hell. They bring it home, they're yelling at the wife, they're yelling at the kids, or the wife yelling at the kids and yelling at the husband. Taking it out on their mama, papa, sister, brother. Anybody that comes in to the vicinity of their 360-degree radius. So, their tool is their job. And they're constantly around that job that's draining them. They now have a powerful force to take to you. Now, it's up to you to step your game up. Like I said, there's certain prayers. Let me just get this out the way real fast. I want to just jump on prayers. Like I said, people know where's my approach is. I deal with the Bible because there's the chakra system, and which is a projection of your aura. A lot of people be like, oh no, your physical body is the projection of the aura. Okay, that sounds good too, regardless of the fact the aura is still there. Now, when you have this aura and it's vibrating at a low rate, it has certain people chakras that's spinning counterclockwise. Now, I learned from Dr. Blair how to drain someone's energy. And I noticed he'll go over their head and spin his hand in a counterclockwise motion. He taught me how to do that. Until where I got better, where I don't even have to go over the person. I even demonstrated to Brother Rich already. So Brother Rich know exactly what I'm talking about. Where I don't even have to take my hand. I don't have to do nothing. So imagine that. Where it got people, you're riding on the train, you constantly bouncing around, they're touching you, their auric residue. Or they get up from the seat is to have that auric residue. You go and you sit in that seat. Or they touching a pole, you go and you touch that pole. What now happens to you? That auric residue is on you. And if you don't have your aura on high, I mean protective high, because their aura is also on high, just on a negative polarity. That's the difference. So it's very rare you'll find somebody that's having a cheerful aura to come along and change somebody that's having a bad aura. It's not very, very difficult. It can be done. You just have to use the certain tools. And that's what people's biggest problem when it comes to this. They're not using the tools. To show you how deep this aura goes, you ever heard of phantom pain or phantom limb, Brother Rich? Okay. I have people, arms, fingers, hand cut off, toes cut off, and they're telling you, I could feel it. It got some, the crazy part is it got people on crutches, and let's say it'll have a child that's running. This is documented. You could check this info out. This is not hard to find. The child will come run and step in that spot where the person foot would be, and the person jump. They're like, yo, I felt that. They're really feeling that. Now, what I find very interesting, when you use the Correllian photography, you could have a leaf, and when you see everything have an aura, by the way. I don't care if it's alive or not alive. It has an aura. This card have an aura. And what's even deeper, you could boost the aura of this card by putting certain symbols, certain prayers. You could boost the aura of this card by having someone pray over it. That's scientifically proven. But let me not jump ahead. I just wanted to get that out there. So you have the people that's feeling these phantom pains. And like I said, they'll take the leaf. They'll tear the leaf. When they tear the leaf, you'll see the aura of that leaf that's missing still there. And it will last for about, they said, over 24 hours. The ironic part is it will go away. And then it might have a surge. They still haven't figured this out. Whatever the reason is, they'll see the same aura part, the same shape of that piece of leaf that got tore, that the aura is reappeared back in that same position, that spot. Now, jump to human beings. I find it very ironic when, if anybody took an aura picture before, not that Polaroid crap, not that digital crap. Excuse me, not Polaroid crap. Not Polaroid crap, excuse me. The digital, not that digital crap. No, you need the Polaroid, because that flash of light, for some reason, and they still haven't figured this out yet. All they could say is the light produces a certain frequency, which creates a brightness where you could see the aura. Because before, they used to say it didn't exist. Now scientists see that it exists through Correllian photography, and they call it a biofield. When the Dogons was talking about it, when the Asians was talking about it, all right, when the different African cultures was talking about this thing, they said, these people are crazy, they're uncivilized, they don't really know nothing. But that's not true. They made the cameras now, and they find out it's true. Instead of calling it aura, they call it a biofield. Okay? So, these people that got the phantom limbs, when they take the aura picture of that spot, the aura is still there where that limb is supposed to be. Now, naturally, if that spot is gone, it shouldn't be there. Logically thinking. But now, for some people, we going on the spooky realm of things that is proven with science. Okay? And it shows that it's still there. You have people that they'll put where their hand used to be, they'll tell a person, okay, it's a dark room, put your hand right there. And it's a dark room. They don't know what it is. But they're like, okay, you're leaning against a counter. Put your hand, well, the hand that you used to have, put it there on the counter. And what do you feel? And they might have the counter moist, full of water. Or it might be a wet towel or something. And the crazy part is, you know how they have the night vision? So they have the night vision showing that the person's like, yo, it's something wet. So scientists was bugged when they first experienced that. It's like, yo, it's something wet. Then they step the game up more. They use the heat signature. You know, the thermal? Yeah, thermal. Yeah, it's red. The thermal. And you're literally seeing a figure move to the area of where the person's hand is supposed to be, move to that area. How you explain that? Now, you could turn around and call this spookism, but there's scientific data, videos, tons of research to back this stuff up. And this is from since the 1940s. This is not even something that's new that they figure out. This is from since the 1940s, to the part where they get so good, they took people that have the phantom limbs, okay? And they'll start off with something like a thin piece of paper. Let's say parchment paper, right? And their goal is to move the paper. They're like, take your hand. Again, the person don't have the hand there, but take your hand and move the paper. Sometimes they'll do a trick where it's a ball and put the ball on the floor, and they'll be like, kick the ball. And the ball is there. Nothing's moving the ball. But the person go over to the ball and the ball moves. Now, the ball ain't going to be like no hard kick. You understand? Like if you kick it with a regular foot, it moves. But the ball like literally rolls. Not no slow roll either. So it's like, wait a minute, there's something to this. Now, some people will be like, oh, it's telekinesis. Yeah, I guess you could say it's telekinesis, but then you have to add the fact that when they're using the Carillion photography, they're seeing the aura, that vision of the hand moving, right? Now, they say your thoughts are things. So you're accustomed having that part of your limb, so you already have that thought pattern that is there. Okay, so that's you might say that's a small way of boosting your aura, but it's really not, because they're using this to move objects. This is a fact. They got a movie called, I think, The Men That Stare at Goats and whatnot. That's real projects that they did. Yeah, the men that stare at goats. That's real projects they did, and a lot of it came from a lot of people that make breakthroughs on that is from Nazi Germany, where they was dealing with the aura. What I find very interesting in Nazi Germany, they call it behind the Iron Curtain, right? They have something called Project Yellow Book. I believe America have one called Project Blue Book, and the Soviet Union, the rest of them, behind the Iron Curtain, they call theirs Project Yellow Book. And it's funny how when they were studying aura, they went into extraterrestrials. Now, I found out weird how they make a link out of that. And what they were doing is, if anybody know about, especially with the Nazi regime, they was looking to try to communicate with extraterrestrials.
Those are some spooky motherfuckers. The Nazi regime, they was into some deep occult shit, man.
Yeah.
The Hitler was spooky. They look at him as just a war machine, but they was some spooky motherfuckers, man.
The Order of Saturn.
Yeah, they was into the Black Sun. They was into some deep metaphysical stuff, man.
They was not playing.
Yeah.
When I think it was Alim Bey who showed me pictures of them studying with the fez on. They had fez on. Yeah. And these people will go in with the projects. The stuff that our people, which is our science, will call spookism. And they will deal with the Bible. They will deal with the Quran. They will deal with Egyptian texts. They didn't cancel out none of that. Down to the symbol and all, which they say supposed to be for the symbol of the sun.
It comes from India, right?
Yeah, Indians use it, but it actually, the first sign of that symbol I saw at first was Egypt. And then I started seeing the symbol in Samaria. All right? The Sumerian, about the Sumerian texts, about the Sumerians. And you'll see that symbol. Now, the story on how Hitler got that symbol, he sent the lady over there, but she went to Egypt. She didn't go to India to get it. She went to Egypt, and it was on the wall. And for some reason, when you read up on it, especially their journals or whatever, it said how, like, something was communicating with her for some reason, whatever it was. But she said whatever it was that was communicating with her, she knew that was the symbol that he needed. I forgot her name, but anybody could look this up. It's basic information. It was one of his top scientists, and if I'm not mistaken, his lover as well. So she went back with the symbol and used it. She said, with this symbol, basically you could rise to power. Now, there's a certain aura, energy, radiance that come off this symbol. All right? So Hitler used it. And when you watch, again, History Channel. People be like, oh, History Channel is not a good reference. Yo, whatever. History and Discovery Channel is a good reference. You got to filter out the garbage. If you know what's garbage, you'll just filter it out. Anyway, when they give the breakdown of Hitler, once he started using that symbol, it's like this man career, if you want to call it that, or tyranny, skyrocket. All right? And Hitler was strong believer of aura. He was obsessed with the aura. Now, when you learn of certain extraterrestrials, like Gano gets into that very good. And a lot of times when they have messages for people, they say, well, you have to raise your spiritual vibration. They talk about the aura a lot. And like I said, I found it very weird that Hitler, Soviet Union, that whole empire there, Russia, Germany, that area, they dealt big with linking UFOs and auras together. When you read some of their research, and I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, it's so damn easy. They know to raise your auric field vibration so you could communicate with extraterrestrials. And that's what they were doing. That's in their own writing. And the U.S. government ain't no different from that. Now, I know what some people thinking, oh, I want a huge aura. I want a big aura. I'm going to tell you now, be careful with that. Because when you have a huge aura, a big aura, and you're not using certain spiritual protection techniques, you invite certain entities around you. Because picture that everybody in this world, they're not conscious of what's going on. That represents the darkness, right? Now, here it is. You have a light. And your light is going to shine bright through that darkness. Guess what? They're going to see you. And who I mean they. Now you have different entities, extraterrestrials, but let's put them aside. Let's just talk about government agencies. It's a fact that they use psychics. That's not a big secret that they use psychics. And these psychics will hone in on you. Like when I showed before, you remember, Brother Rich, when I was doing the moon, the blood red moon, and I showed the letter that I got from the Illuminati. And I thought I was the only one, because I'm like, why nobody in the crowd is talking about it? But I don't know, for some reason, people feel embarrassed about this stuff and they're scared. After the lecture, I had about 8 people come up to me telling me they got the letter. And each one I talked to, I know for a fact that they got the letter, because it was certain stuff I didn't mention in the letter that they mentioned to me. So it had one dude was like, well, brother, I'm off the grid. He was the first person that I ever heard, an older gentleman, Haitian guy. He was the first person that ever got the letter. He was like, you didn't get that letter yet? This is years ago. He said, brother, I feel your energy and what you deal with. He was like, you're going to get that letter soon. But his main thing was, how did they get a hold of me? I thought I was living off the grid. This dude is so ill. You know, when you go scan a book to buy the book, he would wear gloves. He wouldn't touch it because the scanner could get your fingerprint when you're buying certain books or whatever. So he got the letter. Now, this is a guy dressed whatever. Where he was staying at, they mailed him the letter where he was staying at. This dude getting no mail there, don't have on record that he lived there. So he was terrified he told me for about to the point of 3 months where he was getting bugged out and crazy. Like the more he started doing certain spiritual stuff, is the more bugged out he was getting. But he said he noticed his auric vibration was raising because he was in tune with certain things. He would find money. You get what I'm saying? So he was happy about that part, but he was scared, especially when he started finding money and different items.
Quick question, Joel. With that being said, and what this brother, what he went through, and what you just said about the extraterrestrials, why does it seem, and I've heard a lot of brothers pose this question when I talk to them on the street as well, and a lot of us think about this when we hear, I'm probably in the title of this video, part of the title is probably going to say extraterrestrials, and a lot of people that see that's going to say, these niggas is motherfucking crazy. The question I want to ask you, Joel, Why don't black people have encounters with extraterrestrials the way white people do? The way what the books white people write, the cases.
Could you elaborate?
The cases of being abducted. When you hear about that, you think it's some white shit in the back of your mind. Oh, I ain't no aliens abducted niggas. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. So to the average black man and woman, when you say an alien abducted you, they gonna think you crazy. You go to the white community with that, they're gonna say, tell me more. Let me hear about it.
Yeah,
so they have this whole genre of movies like all this Third Encounter, all of this shit.
Yeah.
We not and they it's sold out in their community, their neighborhoods. You go to Harlem, every seat is damn near empty. There might be 5 niggas there, but besides that, the movie theater's empty.
Yeah.
So why is this such a difference when it comes to extraterrestrials between black people and white people?
Excellent question. Now, the simple, basic answer to that, Brother Rich, there are black people that have been abducted. Many cases. There are cases that's in the government files where you have generals that came out on disclosure saying, oh yeah, the men in black, first of all, that's real. It have real men in black. And they'll show up to people, and you got people talk about, oh, their memory been wiped, and they have to go through hypnosis to take them back to that event. But I found it very interesting that there was one case, and that's what really got me more checking out the aura and black extraterrestrials. It was in the 1950s. You could easily Google this, it'll come up. And this black guy and his white wife was abducted. The general, he wasn't a general at the time, he was following the orders, I forgot what rank he was, but he went there because their whole thing was to investigate the people that had been abducted, UFO sightings. That's all they were meant to do. And then when they find out, they let people know how much that they found out from the people. They would send men in black suits to go there. And then when they done, the people don't remember. But it was certain people that they did not touch. They did not go wipe their memories, black and white. But this main case with this black guy and his white wife, when he went back and gave the information back to his general that got about the abduction, the general was saying, wait a minute, a nigga was involved? Don't talk about that. So the white dude who ended up being a general later is like, why? Well, like, what's this? He was like, do not write that in the official files. You could write that in your fieldwork case files, but do not put that down in the official files. Then the next thing is black and Hispanic people that have cases that when they went up on ships, got abducted, and they're explaining how these UFOs look. They talk about, oh, they look Negro light, but not Negro. And then you get to find out the main people, which i.e. white people, that want the information out that's mad at the government, even they are making sure they tell the people after they vet them, hear the story, don't mention about black people. So now, if we know cases of so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Americans, okay, being abducted, forget white and everybody else. But when it comes to them, they're not focusing on how these beings look like. Remember, again, when I was interviewing Gano, I was like, yo, how does stuff look? How that? Because those questions tend not to be asked. But when it's white people, how did they look? How tall were they? They go in. But every time it's a Native American, black or Hispanic, they don't ask them how these extraterrestrials look. And next thing, you don't hear nothing about these people talking about they being probe or have certain chips embedded in them. You don't hear that, but you hear Caucasians talk about that. all the time. You hear Caucasians having a horrible experience. I've yet to hear a black person, Hispanic person, or Native American person that have been abducted talk about bad experience with extraterrestrials. Yeah, you had Credo Mutwa, but Credo Mutwa more talk about the reptilians, and the reptilians, he says it himself. He's like, people think that they're from the next planet. He's like, no, they're of this planet. And when you do more, if anybody study Dr. Blair, and you do more research and study on it, you'll learn certain artifacts that they had, certain history about this stuff. You'll learn that, it has certain reptilian races that been here. Now, you'll be like, well, why? The next question would be, why they abduct certain people, or why they choose to communicate with certain people than others. That goes back to your aura again. Now, you ever heard of a dude called Prophet Yahweh? Mm-hmm. The guy who could call UFOs? Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, he died. Yeah. He shut the news people up. They would make mockery of him. He'll say, you choose the place, you choose the time, and we'll make it happen. You say, okay, I want you in front of 570 Fulton Street, Nicholas, Brooklyn, and we want it to be 6 a.m. in the morning. He'll come out and he'll say, and his main thing he always say, he used the Hebrew prayers. And when the news people see like, this stuff is really in the sky, it's getting closer, oh my gosh, it zipped off, it vanished, disappeared. They had to show that. I'm surprised they even still show the news clips of it. They put it out there, and you couldn't doubt the man no more. And he was asked, why are, like, some of his doctrine people say is off, but I'm sticking with the main ones that I definitely know. They was like, why are you not why only now you choose to come out with this? Because from what we get to find out when we did research on you, you've been doing this for years. He said straight up, he was like, it's time coming, and the angelic beings, that's what he said, told me it's time to put out the information. So this stuff has been proven. And he also spoke about raising your auras, fasting, doing colonics. He was very big on that. So, and taking certain stuff in your body, and people don't understand all this have to do with the aura. When it's, you know what I find real sad, Brother Rich? You have people that want to get into this stuff, but they want to half-ass it. You understand? They don't want to talk about the food that you eat and auras. They don't want to talk about extraterrestrials and auras. They don't want to talk about spirits and auras. They don't want to talk about, I'm like, it goes hand in hand.
And that is very true. That is very true, brother. A question that I know people might be wondering is when they meet somebody. When they meet somebody, a female, we have a bunch of females out here looking to meet males, a bunch of males out here looking to meet females. They meet them, they think they're a good person. Then a year later, down the line, they find out that that person was a piece of shit. They deceived them. They was a liar. My question to you, Joel, is if they were able to pick up on their aura or their vibes, maybe they could have prevented this. Because words are one thing. You could come up to me and say one thing with your words, but if I'm able to pick up on your aura, then I could know that your words is full of shit. Just like when you choose your mate, I'm sure there was something about her, some type of vibes about her that you picked up on. When I'm with you, the fact that you're one of my close friends, there's a vibe about you that I pick up on that says, I could mess with this dude. This is a cool dude right here. Tell the people how can they pick up on these vibes so they won't be fooled by a person's words or by a person. The person may say I'm this, but they end up being that. There's a woman out here messing with dudes. They wind up being gay and shit like that. They get caught up in some shit. So teach the people how they could pick up on a person's aura and vibes so they won't get caught up in a person's lies.
Sure, you ready for that?
We all ready, brother.
Okay.
We all ready.
Now, Do you know of neurolinguistics?
You talked to me about that before. You talked to me about that before. Explain in depth.
Neurolinguistics. You have people, they say that the person got the gift of gab, right?
Right.
They talk real good. Oh, they talk so intellectually. They're so intelligent and whatnot. And most con men are fast talking. Some of them are slow talking. And I'm going to hit you to something. The slow talking ones are the ones you got to watch out for, right? These words are sending certain transmittal neurons to the brain. Because before the person even put out the words, remember, it's coming from the brain. And if these people are vibrating on that level, then this is the next thing. Don't think somebody aura that's vibrating so high and whatnot that they can't be a piece of crap. See, that's one of the biggest mistakes people make.
I'm glad you said that. You're going to have to explain that too. But go ahead.
All right, let me explain that. You have, remember, all this is energy. That's why one of the titles is Auras, Energy, and Extraterrestrials, right?
Right.
You're dealing with an energy. If you could, okay, water. Waters have a certain vibration, a certain energy. You could use water for healing, growing, drinking, quenching your thirst. But guess what? That same water, with the right amount of pressure, it could break down walls. If the water coming down from a certain pressure and hits you too hard, you could die.
From that same water.
From that same water. But if I took just a sprinkle and go like this to you, you'd be like, stop playing, man. That same water. So you have to understand, just because these people auras are bright, don't get it twisted. They just know what tools to use to make their aura bright. In turn, they take those, they misuse the tools to make their aura bright to oppress people. So when you have somebody that's coming and they're using these words and talking to you slick, some people get fooled because they're using certain neurolinguistics. They're using certain big words because, that's why some people be like, oh, well, why is he talking slow in the video? Why is he using such big words? It's proven, scientifically proven, when somebody's talking to you using big words, especially if they're talking fast, your brain now goes into, I believe it's theta. You got alpha, beta, delta, theta, zeta. I believe your brain goes into a theta state, right, where it's almost like a sleep REM. You ever see some you ever see some people, it got certain lecturers out there and they talk so eloquent, and then people would just be like, and you're looking at the person and the person just be like,
there you go, starting something, man.
No, I'm not starting nothing. It's the facts. It's the facts. The people mouth will be open like this. Guess what? Who had people like that? Hitler. Hitler had people like that. When you watch Hitler's speeches and he's talking fast. But when you read the translations, he's not just talking fast and talking in his language. He's using big words. Remember, Hitler studied this. When you go to a certain course to be a salesman, they teach you this.
Right, yeah.
They teach you this.
Zig Ziglar, all those people.
Thank you. They teach you this. So it's when people are lecturing, it will behoove them to learn that. You understand? That's not downplaying anybody, but it's how you use it. So when a woman meet a man or a man meet a woman, and they come in there and they using these words, and their words are sweet like butter. Who's famous for doing that? Let me see if you're gonna get that. Who is famous? What race of people are famous for doing that? Come on, brother.
Who, the
Rick.
French?
You shock me. Caucasian. The Caucasian.
I mean,
they will. Oh man.
I don't know if their words is sweet like butter. I don't know.
Listen.
They came in with force and shit.
Nah. When you study the Native American Indians, did they come in with force first? No.
That's debatable.
No, they did not
That's
come in with
debatable.
force first. They come in sweet like butter. Here, yeah, we all could. Yeah, teach me this.
Okay, that
You teach them
missionary
that.
shit, or the okay.
Yeah, and then give
Okay.
them blankets, the biological warfare.
Right.
Give them blankets with smallpox.
Mhm.
Let's jump to Africa. They come up in there. If anybody watched the movie Shaka Zulu, you'll see they knew they couldn't just come up in there and run up in there and conquer those Zulu warriors like that. Africa, that big continent. First of all, they did not know the landmass. So they already was at a disadvantage. So when they saw monkeys up in the trees, this is in their journals, this is through history, you could check that out. When they saw the monkeys running up in the jungle and different places, they got scared and was looking to shoot at them because they were terrified. So what did they do? They give Shaka trinkets, talk to him all nice, and then only after coming to the tail end, Shaka Zulu realized what they were about. You understand where I'm coming from, Brother Rich? So this is a technique. So when that sister or that brother come to you on some, oh, nice, and you read their aura, hell, I'll give you one better. I done took people and we went and got the aura pictures. You understand? We went and got the aura pictures together and the aura looking bright, nice, beautiful. But guess what? They have a hidden agenda. So what do you do now? One of the major things that I find is very accurate once you get to learn it properly, it's called a pendulum. Make sure the people get a good view of this, Brother Rich. We ain't got to zoom in on it too close. Make sure you got my hand and the string. You got that? All right. Now, when you get more powerful, you could command and control the pendulum. All right. It got a good shot of my hand? Because I don't want people to say I'm taking my hand and I'm turning it. I don't want them to say that. All right. So basically, you got to learn how to command the pendulum. This is one of the first steps to projecting your aura or your will onto somebody. So spin clockwise. If you notice, it starts spinning clockwise. Now I'm going to make it go faster. Move faster. Bigger circles. Stop. See? And it just stopped. You have the power to do that. Now, that's just one tool you could use to help you be like, yo, is this person on the up and up? It have some people that have that equilibrium in them that they use as a pendulum. I know one Reiki lady that does it. And she'll close her eyes and it's either she go forward. She'll close her eyes and it's either she go forward or she'll go backwards. And judging by which way she move, that's how she make her decision. And she'll get her answer. And she's normally on point. So this stuff works. This stuff is how you could determine who's who. And then again, the next thing is you have to say your prayers. I'll give you one basic Hebrew mantra. You could say, now take it or leave it. That's up to you. But the stuff works. It's going to raise your energy, vibration. It's going to help you and protect you. And it's simple. It's very simple. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. You could say that a number of 108 times. And this could help you. All right? The first person, because I always been giving out mantras to people to help them, but that is by far the strongest mantra that I have ever encountered. And I first learned that from the high priest Yeshaya. I believe Sarnetta was interviewing him. And the high priest Yeshaya gave that on. As soon as I heard it, it resonated. So again, you could take it, you could leave it, but that's what works. So a next thing that women could do to help them to raise their vibration and encounter where that mate that you're looking for or somebody that you're interested in is good or no good. You have to start building up repellent where you could repel them. Now, I already gave lectures on this, so I'm not going to go into too deep. This is red tiger's eye. But I'm not focusing on the type of crystal it is. I'm just really focusing on the shape. See how it's egg shaped? This is a yoni egg. The women could use the yoni egg. First of all, it's good for helping flattening the stomach, widen out the hips more. You know, the people, they be like, oh, that voluptuous hips. And it'll make your childbirth easier when it's time to give birth. But this is very powerful because depending on the certain crystal you get and the vibration, you automatically raise your auric field. Because this is something that's inserted inside of your vagina. All right? Now, without going too deep into it, again, you could just check out one of the lectures. Just type in Joel Benjamin Yoni Egg on YouTube, and it should pop up. And you'll learn where I go even more in depth in this. And a lot of Caucasian women are using this. And when you check how their energy is, you're like, well, gosh, damn. And you're like, wait a minute. I got more melanin. I got way more melanin. What's going on here? What's the difference? Next one is, this one is rutilated quartz. All right. Again, you could get any type of yoni egg depending on the type of yoni egg. And like I said, all I deal with is high vibrational ones. If it's low vibration or poor quality, I refuse to get it. Now, when you use that as a woman, you will notice certain individuals have to stay away from you. And I challenge anyone that doubt me, go take an aura picture, start using the yoni egg. Any female, start using the yoni egg, and go back and take an aura picture, and then tell me how your aura is. Okay? A next thing to help build up your aura. Hold on, you had a question?
No, go ahead.
The next thing to build up your aura, I spoke about this before, Herkimer diamonds, but this one I have in here is a Pachymer. I have it inside the cage. Let me just take it out. As small as this is, put it against here. As small as this is, this stuff works. As small as it is. Next one, keep the camera right there, Brother Rich. Next one that help enhance other crystals. This is a stone, if you put it on top of your head, and it's very hard to get a hold of. It took me almost a year before I got more of these in. It's called rhodozite. Let me show you how small this is. Very amazing crystal. It enhances every other crystal. No, I know some people going to try to be funny. It's not a crack rock. All right. But this stone right here is very powerful. They got a good view of this, Brother Rich? Okay. Now, rhodozite enhances every other stone. You could put that in a pouch, put it in your bosom area for women. You could put it in your pocket. That stone raises your vibration on high. Now, you have a book that tells you about auras that we sell here. How to read the aura. Now, some people will be like, well, how do I see the aura, brother? I'll tell you straight up. Some people could see it. And then some people mask themselves where they don't want their aura to be seen. That's very interesting. But the thing is, some people just come across it like me. I could tell you straight up. Ask me to do it on impulse. A lot of times I'm not able to do it on impulse. But at that right moment, I'm able to see. And I'm like, oh, wow. Especially when I'm coming from that sleep and wake state. It's something about that sleep and wake state that you're more in tune. You know, they say that's the transmission of realms.
Right.
Where you're more in between. Your brain waves is more in between realms. But you have a book called, this is the newly revised version, the Book of Stones. Now, what I like about this book, it will tell you, let's go to the rhodozite, which I spoke about, right? Now, what I like about this, they show the element and what chakras that it deals with, which is the solar plex, which is the third chakra, right? Not the third eye. Solar plex, stomach. Make sure they get a good picture of this, Brother Rich. All right. You'll see where it says storm, element storm, and the keywords, which is basically what it does. Magnification of the energies of other stones, increasing personal power and confidence. Now, that's a no-brainer. If it enhances other stones, of course, it's going to enhance your energy, because your skeletal system is on quartz crystalline base type of structure. Anybody knows this. That's why the bones last for so long. Dinosaur bones, all kind of bones, right? Now, let's move on. A next way to enhance your aura, because I spoke about some of the ways when you're being under attack. You have certain people that use their brainwave, they use the spiritual attacks. Then you have your encounters of the incubuses and the succubuses that drain your energy. Now, you want to be on a level where your stuff is high. Again, do not get fooled by people that have a high vibrational aura. Before I even get into that, I'll tell you real quick. I have a homeboy. He has a girlfriend, right? The crazy part about this is very sweet, very calm. But being that what I know, I'm like, yo, at the time I didn't know what a shadow was. I knew of the indigos, the crystals, the stars, but I didn't know what a shadow was. And I was like, she has an energy about her, and I was picking up on her, and me and her always clicked. We always move real good. But I was like, yo, it's something about her. And that's when I started researching more. This is before I even knew what a shadow child or shadow person is. So one day we went and take the aura pictures. And let me put it like this. Ever since that day, I've been looking at her different. And this is over 6 years ago I'm talking about. Yo, her aura was full purple. The whole thing purple. But it was a dark, shadowy purple. Now, this is the thing. She's a person, when she gets mad, if you're a person in tune, you could actually feel like the darkness encompass the area that she is, where she will go ham, key up the car. But, she looked like she's about 100, not even 100. She looked like she's about 80 pounds soaking wet. And this is a woman, when she got mad, kick open a door. Like, boom. I'm like, where did she get that strength from? Again, this is before I knew what was what. So as I got to learn it, I was like, okay, she's one of those shadows. Remember when we spoke about the indigos? Remember when we spoke about the indigos, crystals, shadows, the stars, all right? So the rainbows. So she was a shadow. And I was like, that's it. Because she's very in tune. Some stuff she wouldn't know, but once she start tuning in, you're like, wow. And she will be sharp with it. So I just say that to say, you got to be careful of the people that you're encountering. Because to have people that's on a high spiritual level, is either they're going to use it for good or they're going to use it for bad. All right? You have to watch how people speak, slick talking. Because their whole mission is to change your brain wave, your brain pattern to be, what's the correct word I'm looking for? I don't want to say enslaved to them, but that's basically what it is. Jim Jones in you. You understand? You have to be docile and receptive to them. And whatever they say have to be the gospel. Okay, so basically, since we done got on the brain, because like I said, all this have to do with the aura. Now, you'll have something, valerian root extract. I'm going to show you 3 things. You have valerian root extract. This is great for if you have trouble sleeping. This will help you fall asleep. They also say this have levels of melanin or melatonin, whichever one in it. That's why it's good to help you sleep. All right? Valerian root. It's supposed to have high levels of melanin or melatonin in it to help you sleep. Okay, next one. That help your aura, because a lot of people don't have just trouble sleeping, but when people that say, oh, I sleep just fine, but are you constantly tossing, you're turning, or you getting a proper relaxing sleep? This next one, you getting a good view of this, Brother Rich? This is called kava extract. I spoke about that before. That's good to mellow you out. It helps enhance your brain pattern for people who need to study in school or whatever. That will help them. Now this one I'm going to show you. People, be careful if you look to use this. This one is used for when you're sick. It's echinacea and golden seal. Got a good view of that, Brother Rich? Now, the thing with echinacea and golden seal, it will help your brain, but that's something, if you are using it for that purpose, which is very powerful, by the way. If you're using it for that purpose, I suggest, you don't got to listen to me, but hey, I suggest you only use it at least 2 times out the week, morning and night. Don't go up on it, because it's not something you really should be using every day unless you're sick. All right? And even then, you should only use it for a week, cycle, and cycle off for a week, and then go back to it. Now, for the men, now they gonna probably say, oh, Brother Rich, you bring that freaky dude up again. He always finds somewhere to add sex in. In case you don't know, you could raise your vibration, spiritual vibration, raise your aura with sex, or you could drain it with sex, depending on the person you're using. That's where the incubuses and them succubuses come into play. Okay? People that drain your energy sexually. You getting a good view of this, Brother Rich? For the people? All right. IGF-1 Extreme, deer antler. This is the velvet. This is the velvet of the deer antler. This spray bottle, just this spray bottle alone, is about $60. All right. This is from Iceland, where they take the deer. Everybody know it's pure out there, the atmosphere and what the animals eat and whatever. But they take the velvet off of the deer antler, and they make an extract out of it. People will be like, oh, it's expensive. Listen, all you need is one spray. And this was for men and women, but mainly for the men. What I found with using it, it put me in a state. Now, if anybody know anything about deers, they're known as a very spiritual animal. Yeah. A deer. Mm-hmm. They see certain spiritual stuff. If you down to African culture and all, they talk about the deer and what the deer is able to do. So all I could say is, with my experience using it, and from what I heard other people experience with it, the dream state is off the chain. And just how you feel throughout the day using it, I'm just going to leave it as that. It's something where me talking about it is doing no type of justice. You just really have to try it and see what I'm talking about. And that's something that they don't put out in our community a lot. They don't put out about with the deer antler. It got people which I knew that was seriously ill, and they used the grind up antlers of deer, and they drink it, they boil it, drink it like a tea, and in 2 days they're like spring back to life. So that's a very good part. Now, our next thing is I took up the monatomic gold. Everybody know I spoke about the black monatomic gold spray before. I spoke of the regular one. Now I'm going to speak on the heart one, because one of the things, brother, which what some people don't understand, that heart chakra is very important. Everybody talk about the third eye, the third eye, the third eye, the third eye, the third eye. Yeah, that's all good and all. Etheric chakras. But if you notice, when you're dealing with the heart chakra is in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Past the other chakras. So if you notice, you have the heart chakra here, right? Mm-hmm. And what you have here? The throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, right? And then you have the other three from the bottom, right? So that, it's, put it as like a magnetic pole for your body. Put it like that. That heart chakra is very important, because you have people that could be in certain situations and they be like, yo, I felt it from my heart. Or they could be a person that's not giving at all, and then somebody come around and be like, damn, you gave up your money to that person? And it's like, yo, it's something I felt right here. When you start vibrating, and the first person that I ever heard speak about it and really go into depth about it was Dr. Alim Bey. Dr. Alim Bey went in, it was a time he was interviewing him, and he went in, and once I really researched it myself and did more study, that heart chakra plays a very important role. Thus me getting into the foods. When you use certain foods and you're clogging your arteries and that blood is not flowing properly to the heart, because remember, the life is in the blood, okay? Which also is DNA. Your whole body is DNA, but definitely that blood. Now, your aura, I always tell people this, the aura is a projection of your DNA, period. And I ain't ever found nobody that ever doubt me on that yet. Your aura is a projection of your DNA. So when you have the proper blood, or forget proper blood flow, when you have the blood that's blocking from the heart to flow to the heart properly, when you eating different fatty foods or smoking cigarette and the plaque is building up and whatnot, you notice people move certain ways real different. Some people that been on drugs or after or still on drugs, people be like, oh, their brain. Nah, because some people you could deal with, and it's based off of that heart energy, that heart vibration that they're giving off, without trying to sound all cheesy and whatnot. But that's basically what it is. That's one of the main things. Even when people talk about the aura, I notice they just talk about the heart briefly, the heart chakra very brief, and move on to the rest.
Just to add on to what you're saying, you could expound a little bit. There's this book I'm reading, The DNA Field and the Law of Resonance. One of the things it says, research from the Institute of Heart Math shows us exactly how large this set energy is. The electrical power of the heart signal, EKG, is up to 60 times stronger than the electrical signal of the brain, EEG. The magnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. We essentially send out considerably more energy through our heart than we do through the brain. So you could go ahead. I just wanted to read that.
Thus, exercise. When you exercise, what pumps very fast? Your heart. Your heart, that boop 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 boop. That's a vibration. It's giving off a resonance. And not only that, it having the blood and oxygen properly flow to the brain. You get what I'm saying? You could be brain dead and still be alive. And they hook you up to the machine, feeding you and everything. Could you do that with your heart? That's a no. That's a no. Even when they're doing heart transplants, I think is what they have 20 minutes in order to connect the other heart before like you really be like gone. That's deep. And I don't know why people sleep on this when it comes to this knowledge, when it comes to the whole knowledge period. So that's why I make sure I show the certain things that people could use. So when you use it, you could see that it works for yourself. Again, the monatomic gold is the bomb. You have the pill forms. Me personally, I like the pill forms. But the one, we have the monatomic gold for the heart. I noticed the monatomic gold that's specifically for the heart, formulated properly for the heart. I noticed, because at first I was one of those that be like, I don't want the one for the heart. Just give me the black one or the regular one. And then only as I realized, like, yo, let me try the heart one. And then I was like, whoa, this stuff is amazing. What you feel, the radiance you give off. You have people that don't like you all the time, or they always acting nasty and mean. Start using that monatomic gold for the heart. Or start using this oil right here. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Triloka. This is, I spoke about this before. This oil. And the incense. Just holding this right now, I'm feeling the vibration in my heart. Just talking about the heart chakra. I'm feeling that energy and that vibration. You got a good view of this, Brother Rich?
Yeah.
Hold it right there. Now we have the incense that they specifically make for the hearts. Now, you want to hear one of the oils that's in this? Rose oil, saffron, palmarosa. Now, you could do the math on that. Well, they say, well, to get to a woman's heart, you give them roses, right? Now,
you're gonna have to donate that one to me.
I got you, Brother Rich. Now, we have the one that also covers all the chakras. I personally like this one because it deals with all of them. But a lot of people need to focus on the heart, especially people that have been sexually molested. You'll have people, their energy is so strong, very powerful, especially if they're indigo. Indigo, star, crystal, shadow, rainbow, any one of those categories. Energy so strong. But that sexual molestation, when you're dealing with sexual molestation, it drains. That's a draining energy. Like you hear me talk about the exorcism that I took part in before. And when after we got the demon out, chased the demon out of the female, she said straight up, she started confessing. She was like, yo, her stepmother used to sexually molest her. And ever since then, this mother was into voodoo. So you have these predators out there and you're like, yo, what they get out of this? And then you have people that protect these predators. Now, when you're protecting a predator, or you choose to not, you commenting on everything else, but you don't comment on that, you also take up a certain vibration, because that's where you start dealing with that heart chakra. Once you start dealing with that heart chakra now, it's like, yo, where's your heart at? And a lot of these people are broken down and tore up. Go ahead.
For those of us who have children, yourself, as a daughter, is it easier? You talked earlier about, people who project a bright light, these indigos, say it's darkness, you project a real bright light, so it's so easy for entities to see you. would that mean it's easier for these gifted children with auras, indigo, stars, crystals to get molested sexually because the energy they send out is so strong? It's an
Yes.
attractive energy to these
Yes.
sexual predators.
Yes.
So
Because
yeah,
a lot of these sexual predators and people
Right, no, I know what you.
and people gonna say, oh, there he go with that spooky stuff again. But a lot of these sexual predators, especially Satanists, they have certain entities
possessed.
on them.
They possess, right, right.
They have certain entities on them. And this is real talk. This is real deal. This is stuff that the government, I'm going to keep running this into the ground. The government does research on that, and all these damn naysayers, I gave out the FBI website on a few videos already. Did I not, Brother Rich?
Mm-hmm.
Now you will have people that comment and say all this garbage and never go to the damn FBI website and read the disclosure files that's on there. I'll do you one better. All those that talk all that no. We got to get this out there. All those who talk that trash and don't believe that this stuff is real, I'm going to tell you something easy to do. You ain't got to put much effort in on it. How much for a stamp, Brother Rich? How much for a stamp now?
I ain't buy a stamp.
Brother Rich said he ain't buy a stamp in years.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I think 30-something cents maybe. That's as much as it should cost you. Write a letter and send it because the Freedom of Information Act, and you will be surprised what they send you back. Send it to them on this subject, and you'll be surprised what the government send you. All you gotta do is put your real name, right? If you don't be scared, put your real name. If you think this is garbage, and send a letter to the government, because with the Freedom of Information Act, they're going to send you files. A lot of it, I'm going to tell you now, when it comes to certain names of people, whatnot, is going to be blacked out. They're going to do that. That's a fact. All right? But send that. That's where they'll send you stuff on the Monarch Project. I'm telling you where to start. Tell them you want information on the Monarch Project. That's where they was using the young girls as pretty much sex slaves right here in America. Right here in America. Down to the Montauk Project. You ever heard of that, Brother Rich? They say that facility's closed. When you go there, it look all damn desolate and whatnot. But when you find out they got underground bases, so they'll take the children underground. This is them even admitting to doing sexual molestation projects on children. You know why? Because they was trying to make the children more psychic, raising their spiritual aura, vibrations, to find out certain things and making them assassins. This is governmental documents. So if you think this aura stuff is a joke, just write a letter. It ain't gonna cost you much. Just write a letter, mail it out to them. Now, this is the thing. When you do that, they're gonna want to know who you are. Well, they're gonna dig up who you are, what you're doing it for, and they're gonna get into your business. That's a fact. Because for you to even write that letter and send it to them, and especially on the specifics that I gave you, I won't say you become a target, but they're going to be watching you like, yo, like, what are you doing with this information? Because they'll send it to you. They have to send it to you. Because you send a letter, it's legal binding documents. Once you send that to them, it go through the postal system. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Rich? Yeah. That's why if somebody steal a mail, you get football numbers for stealing a letter. That's federal crime. So, a next thing that you could bathe with, since I spoke about auric residue. Auric residue, you have rose oil. That could help you. And yeah, a lot of the stuff I use is from Now Products because they have a lot of the good stuff. I deal with the good stuff. You have jasmine oil. Jasmine oil is also to help you sleep. All right. They got a good view of that. Our next one is juniper berry. Juniper berry is very good. And one of the most expensive is pure hyssop oil. And like I said, biblical herb. This stuff works. I'm talking about a powerful cleanser, spiritual cleanser. Just smell it alone helps clear up sinuses and whatnot. This is a very, 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 I'm going to stress, very powerful herb. So these are different stuff you could bathe with. Now, I heard Azazel. Now, some of the stuff Azazel say, and you know I deal with the spooky stuff, Brother Rich. But for some of the stuff, brother, see, Brother Rich laughing. Some of the stuff Azazel come with, I be like, damn, I don't know. But I checked out certain stuff, and he was the first brother that I heard gave an in-depth breakdown of wintergreen. Wintergreen is a very, very, very powerful herb, and it's pretty much underrated. Wintergreen is very good as a spiritual cleanser. Like I said, the first person I heard talk about that was Brother Azazel. And when I did more research on it, I was like, damn, this dude on point. He knew what he was talking about when he came into that wintergreen. Now, all of these, you could bathe with them. You could mop out your house with them. You could take some water with the oils and put on your tire. Interesting story about that. It had a guy I met before. I never forget this day. That's when I first had, I don't know if Brother Rich remember, I had a 98 Subaru. And I used to come around and pull up and listen to Brother Rich, you know, and the rest of people when he had to stand out there, you know, before he got big time journalists. So this dude told me one night I was dropping off this lady that lived there. Me and her got to be friends. And, you know, she was talking on certain spiritual stuff. So I dropped her off at the house. She was staying with this dude. And this dude, I know he wasn't full of it because he was like, you have to be careful. This was his first time meeting me. He was like, you have to be very careful. You'll get into a car accident. And that time I cleansed my vehicle, but I didn't cleanse my vehicle for a while. And I was like, yeah, buddy, I know about this. But just the way he came off, all soft-spoken and whatnot. Long story short, I'm going to put it to you like this. He's a dude. He got truth to what he's talking about. But he's one of them that will use his powers for bad. And I already picked that up from him right away. So he was like, brother, let me do a prayer on the vehicle. And as he's talking to me, he's like, yo, Archangel Gabriel is talking to me. I'm like, you know, at that time I was like, yeah, right. Archangel Gabriel, whatever. He was like, but I didn't let him know that. He was like, brother, let me just say the prayer. He went on each direction, north, east, and south of the car. And he said the prayer. Brother Rich, the next day, early in the morning, I'm going to work, coming from my lady house. I still don't know how I end up crashing in behind that cab. Just crash. And oh my gosh, my heart started pumping. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, there's people in the cab. And the sound the car made, that's crick, all crunchy. You know that crunchy, loud sound like on a car accident? When I got out the car, it wasn't a scratch on his car. It wasn't a scratch on my car at all. Nobody could tell me anything when it comes to that. I've witnessed that. And I was like, gosh damn. And the crazy part is, my mother, before he even told me, my mother was already saying, be careful, I'm getting dreams of you crashing. Just 2 weeks before. So this is something we got to take hindsight too, because when you enhance your aura, you also enhance your dream state. You'll start getting more prophetic dreams. All right, where you'll know certain stuff that's coming to you before it happens. But the cab driver got out And I'm surprised how he handled it. He looked at the back. He's like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, no. Here, take my number. He's like, no, go. It's okay. Nothing happened. It's all right. And I was shocked. But that goes, remember I said there's an auric field around everything. So you have to boost your auric field, especially your personal property, because people will watch you, Brother Rich, driving that nice fancy car and be like, oh, how the hell they can't get that? Or what did you do to get that? Your ass must be an agent, Brother Rich. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, Brother Joel, one of his names is Agent such and such. He's an agent. And they'll use that and they see what you got, and they might not intentionally look to throw that energy out there to bring you down, but just them doing that, they're throwing that vibration, those brain waves at you, and that's to bring you down. So now, one of the incense I advise everybody, especially if you got a vehicle and your place, you get a chalice. They get a good view of this, Brother Rich. I don't know if they could see. They don't gotta zoom in on it like once you see me, all right? So basically, you hold it, you go like this, all right? You smoke out the area. You have the charcoal. You light the charcoal, and you put it in there, okay? Now, when you do that, you get a good flame going, or whatever the case is. You're gonna throw the rock incense in there. This one is Jerusalem. Then you have Lion of Judah. Then you have 7 African powers. I personally like this one a lot. If you notice, it's like real sticky too. Like they went in on this one. This 7 African powers is no joke. And you cleanse your car, because I was doing it out here in front of Nicholas just what day it was. And you could see the vibration of people. I done had a cab driver pull up while he had a passenger in the cab, and she wasn't no better. She was like, yeah, get me too and whatnot. Spanish. And, Hispanic. And I cleansed out the car from him. He was like, buddy, bro, I need it. It got people that look to stop. They're like, what you doing? You cleanse the car, and it resonate and it vibrate with people, because that is what we should be doing on a regular basis. Went around my vehicle, barakatah Yahweh, barakatah Yahweh Shai, and I'm cleansing my vehicle all inside. That is what we're supposed to do all through the house. All right? All through the house and everything. Next thing that help boost up your spiritual vibration, and I know it have to be because it gets a lot of sunlight. While it's in the ocean, the sun beams down and it traps that light, is sea moss. This is a powerhouse. Shoot, you could big up to red pill and blue pill. They could break that down for you. I think blue and red could probably do I say an hour and a half lecture on just sea moss alone. Sea moss is that great, and once you see what it does to the cells. Next thing too, goji. This is the goji juice from now. All right, the goji juice. It shows when you're around electromagnetic fields, certain EMF waves. Like computers, especially people that work around electronics, they're tired all the time, and they show pictures of their aura low. They took the goji berry, okay? It shows how the cells started to separate instead of clump up together. And then when they take an aura picture, what you think? Their aura picture was all bright, nice. So you see how the so-called spiritual, or spookism as people will say, could deal with the physical, more tangible stuff. And this is scientifically proven. Next thing too that's awesome is nuni, the nuni fruit. And I find it very interesting that they're doing their business to ban the fruit from coming into America. You could get the juice, whatever, all day, but the actual fruit, they go out their way to ban it. Now personally, this is mixed with other stuff, this nuni and the goji berry. So I was like, nah, I'm not feeling that, until my wife was like, yo, try the nuni. And when I tried it, I was like, gosh damn. It was like I was taking the actual nuni. So now product, when it comes to nuni, the nuni drink as far as I know, they have the best one. They stepped up the game big time, because I'm tasting way more noonie than anything else. And if anybody that know noonie, once you open the bottle, it smells stink. That's number one. And the taste is almost like you're drinking alcohol. That's how strong it is. When you need some of that, Brother Rich. Brother Rich is funny. Next thing, I'm going to talk about this again, and I'm going to stress it. Pharmaceutical vitamin C and MSM. Very important that you take this. It had the white guy, I forgot his name. I could get that for you next time. Or just do the damn research yourself. You just type it in. You're going to see the stuff come up on YouTube. And he explains this, and this dude is not even a doctor, but his research is backed up by medical doctors, and they got, from listening to him, they decide to do studies on it, and they see that will also boost up your aura, spiritual vibration, and overall health, because it's properly healing to you, so it will work. Again, don't use microwaves. If you're using microwaves, you're putting radiation in your body. I ain't gonna tell, it goes hand in hand, of course, you know, that's going to lower your auric field. You got a question, Brother Rich?
No, we just about wrapping it up, Joel. I guess you showed some great products today. I'm glad you showed a lot of those products. And I know this is a topic a lot of people are going to be interested in. I could just feel it from the heart. But I guess to close out, my last question, Joel, would be, you know, when you're young, they say the children can see auras. That's why they might just start crying when they see a certain person, and they be like, why the baby crying? Because they see something that we don't see. And then they say later on in life, logic and intellect kind of dampers or hurts your psychic abilities that you were born with. So once again, for those who have children that don't want them to lose their psychic abilities, like there's things I remember as a child that I used to hear that I don't hear no more. I don't know what made it get blocked out, but I guess just through time, through years, you just lose certain abilities you had. So how can we, for our children, how can we protect their psychic abilities?
Excellent question. That's why you're the that's why you're the black Gil Noble of this. The black Gil Noble of the conscious community when it comes to this. Brother Rich. Or should I just say light skin? But anyway, that's a very important question. And I'm going to go, and I have to go deep into this topic. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. A lot of it is the damn parents that be dampering it. It's a lot of it falls on the parents. Next thing, let's go into solutions. Now, it's certain crystals that you could use. Howlite. Howlite is a very good stone that you could put under their pillow, or you could put it in a bowl of water and put it under your bed. Your bed or the child's bed. One of the major things, major things, and it's a reason you asked me that question, because I was supposed to bring this up. The frequency CDs. Do you remember? When I gave you the frequency CDs, Brother Rich? It got one frequency on there that's very important, 528 hertz, that repairs DNA. All right? And it helps greatly with the dream states. Now, again, this frequency repair DNA. What did I tell you before? The DNA, the aura is a projection of the DNA, correct? So if it helps enhance your DNA, what is it going to do? Enhance your aura. Period. It's common sense. You let your child listen to that CD. I also have one which is the high angelic frequency. Now, big up to King Simon. Because King Simon told me, he was like, for years growing up, he always had this certain ringing in his ear, especially when trouble come along or whatever. And that's how he know, like, yo, time to get into that fighting stance or time to flee. You know, that fight or flight instinct start to kick in. Now, I gave him the high angelic one, and he came to me right after, and he was like, brother, I've been hearing this frequency from a little boy to a grown man now. He said, when I was listening to the frequency CD, when that particular frequency came on, it gave me shivers because that same exact tone he always heard from young. So I'm telling you how to properly activate yourself with that. Like I said, I sell the CD and I put enough frequencies on there to get you right. I done did lectures on it. You could get that from Brother Rich. The video on it or whatever the case may be, but I'm just giving you the very cut and dry. That CD, both of them, the high angelic one and the solfege frequency CD, that's the one where the 528 hertz is on. That goes into the ut, where some people say do re mi fa si la ti do, right? That melody. When you check that frequency, even where it's correlated dealing with Hebrew text, the Bible, you have a doctor called Dr. Leonard Horowitz, all right, who dealt with that. He wrote the book DNA, Pirates of the Sacred Spiral. And just the way how he ended up explaining when he was studying, when he wrote his book, AIDS and Ebola, Nature, Accident, or Intentional, he would say like how he was starting to listen to frequency and whatnot, getting into that part of how you could use certain frequency to heal and cure the body. And he was studying the AIDS research, and he needed governmental proof that the government put this out there. So he went to this huge library. I believe it's the biggest library, public library in America. I forgot where it was, but you could research this yourself and you'll find it. So he went there, and he said he was giving up his search on it. All right? He said he heard that ringing in his ear, and he just got up and went to the spot. Now, you got to remember, it's two things: angelic entities or extraterrestrials, which people say they're one and the same. I'm not even looking to debate that. We know it's a other force that's giving you that information and helping you. Once you're in tune, you should be able to hear it. And when you dampen the children, of course, it's going to cut off. So that's to keep the children having it. And for people where it's dormant, not lost, dormant. That's the thing. You have certain entities that thrive off of negative people. You'll have agents come out there and throw negativity to rile up other people and damp. Oh, you believe in that garbage and whatnot. When they know, they don't believe, they know in that. Their job is to throw you off your game plan, your square. So he went in there, and this place is huge, nothing but books. And he said he's hearing the voice plain as day. Turn right, turn left, keep walking straight, walk faster, slow down. And this is a medical doctor, and he said he's explaining the voice, and even him explaining, he always makes sure he tell people, well, don't think I'm crazy. He said, but I have to be honest on how I got this information. And they said, go down. Now all these books, millions of books, all crammed together, and it's like go down. And there, the government, they put certain files in the library. Some of them you could have to go on the computer to get. And some of them, they have the actual archive of the actual paperwork there. And he found their flow chart on how they would administer AIDS to the Black and Latino community, their plans on who to blame it on, when they're going to come with a cure for it. It's a flow chart of them administering this disease. So this is a Caucasian. He's Jewish. Caucasian dude. And he brought that information out, and he said straight up the way how he got the information. So we got to remember, it's very important when you're dealing with the children. The best thing, like I said, is dealing with them frequency CDs. When you deal with those frequency CDs, you're going to start remembering old songs from your childhood, everything. And quite frankly, a lot of it is prayer. What I'm noticing in the conscious community, it's becoming atheists. they're like becoming atheists. Some borderline satanic, some straight satanic.
Don't start that, man. That's a whole...
No. Because Brother Rich Lavie say, oh, that's a whole different story. Don't start that, but it's true. And you got to think, what are these people agenda that's pushing this to you if your whole stance is, Brother Rich, African culture, civilization? We always been a spiritual people that always believe in a higher force. Am I correct? So why is it now that the conscious community is turning into everything you say and talk about is spookism? What happened? So our ancestors didn't know better? They were dealing with spookism? You get what I'm saying? So, and that's what happens when you come out with this certain rhetoric, I call it, and you damper the children's mind state. Because the children is supposed to be looking up to us to give them this information. And then you come along and be like, oh, this is not true, this is not this and that. Then they go do their own research. You're telling them everything Africa, 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 Africa. But when they do the research in all these different cultures in Africa, they talking about aura, they talking about spirits, they talk about extraterrestrials. Am I right or wrong? Like they keep going in with it. So don't damper your child's spirit with that. We have to keep on where we have some type of spiritual system, some type of spiritual guidance, because what I've learned with prayers, it helped. Again, back to what you were saying with the pedophiles. These pedophiles, they hone in on that. You understand? That innocence of that child, that bright spirit of the child. You even go as far as the aura is so deep. You have certain criminals. When you learn the history of Europe, where the Caucasians ruling, these people was obsessed with death. Obsessed with death. And when you go to this day, when you go to certain areas, it gives off a vibes, a vibration. Like I said, if you have the Carillion photography, you stand at a distance and you watch the city, you'll see an aura of that city. And it could be a negative or positive in nature. And these people, they had plagues. They drunk blood. A lot of them still do. All right. And all this, when you read like their satanic doctrines and what they're into, it's about draining your energy so to uplift theirs. So in closing, you got to be careful of your children. Watch the people that defend child molesters. Watch the people that are child molesters. Watch the people that will try to lead your child into a way where they telling them don't study a spiritual system. Don't study nothing spiritual. You got to watch them people, because they'll be the same people that say, oh, I'm not into this and that yet. When you go to their home and you be like, yo, could I use the bathroom, brother? And you pass by, they happen to leave their bedroom door open. You see they got an altar set up. This is real talk. So you got to be mindful of that, people. With that, I'm going to end it there. Watch your children, protect your children. Like I said, one of the best ways I know is those spiritual, them frequency CDs. Again, donate to Brother Rich and the Underground Railroad. I don't care if you say I sound like a damn broken record. Deal with it. Don't go on there trying to give your opinion and how Brother Rich should do things and when he should post up a video, this and that. And, I could take all that. If you donate, you got to donate to Brother Rich. You can't say what you find should be on a channel and you're not even donating, because you don't type in or call CNN and do that, do they, Brother Rich? They don't do that with Fox News that come in with all that racist stuff making our people look bad. You don't do it. So don't do it with Brother Rich. Don't do it with Sonetta. Don't do it with Doggy Diamonds. Don't do it with Red Pill and Blue Pill Know the Ledge. Don't do it with Baba TV. All right? Unless you donate. If you donate, you should have a say so, and how they say, your suggestion would be considered. All right. Peace.
Peace, family. This is Brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I could ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I could make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com and send a donation to richandmerit7@yahoo.com. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your program.